with the Eastern Cape's Head of Department of Social Development, Ntombi Baart, who will be talking to us about that issue that involves the Life Esidimeni health service provider. Thank you so much for joining me, Ntombi Baart. Let me ask you, what is the status of your relationship as a department with Life Esidimeni? Do you still have a contract in place? And if not, what led to its termination?
Good afternoon. Let me correct. The Eastern Cape Department of Social Development does not have a contract with Life Esidimeni. It has a contract with Eastern Cape Frail Care, which is a subsidiary of Life Healthcare Group.
All right. So what's the name of that institution?
Eastern Cape Frail Care.
All right. So it's a subsidiary of the Life Group. What is the status of that contract at the moment?
The status of that contract is through a court order. We are compelled by the court order to have a relationship to continue keeping the people that are housed in the two centers in Port Elizabeth, which is Algoa Frail Care as well as Lorraine Frail Care Center.
And you're saying you're compelled by a court order. Did you want to terminate the contract?
As per the contract that existed and expired after 3 years, we issued a notice of moving away from the contract as per the terms of the contract. So we have issued a notice that the contract will expire in 6 months as per the terms and conditions, and we intended seeking alternative service providers to provide the services for frail care patients.
So what were the reasons why you did not want to extend and renew this contract at the point at which it lapsed, and you wanted to explore your options in terms of working with other service providers?
Let me correct again. When the contract expires, you have an option of looking at other frail care service providers. However, the truth of the matter is that this contract is unaffordable. It's beyond the subsidy that we are providing for the rest of the population of the Eastern Cape. Currently, we are subsidizing about 15,700 frail care patients throughout the Eastern Cape at a cost of 2,000 rand per person per month, whereas with this contract that has expired, we are compelled to subsidize at about 18,000 per person per month, only for 208 people, which is inconsistent and discriminating against the rest of the other persons who are frail in the Eastern Cape.
So I take it the company itself that you are contracted with were not particularly happy with you wanting to explore your options and try to contain the costs thereof. What did you make of their argument that says moving the patients would not be in the best interests of those patients? You'll know the background as to why I asked this question, given what happened in Gauteng, where there were warnings that patients should not be moved, and we subsequently saw the disaster. What was your sense of what they were saying, that moving them is not in the best interest of the patients?
I don't think necessarily it's for the company to be happy, but it's for the provision of services within the province without discriminating others, because there are discrepancies in terms of the services that are provided. So if there are service providers within the NPO sector that are able to provide a similar service, then there's nothing else that's stopping us to procure those similar services from them. So according to the process that is undertaken normally by the department, we issue out calls for proposals to NPO services who are practicing in the older persons sector to submit their applications for rendering of the services. So it's not a matter of wanting us to make the service provider to be happy or not. It's to ensure that there's equity of services in the manner that we are doing throughout the province for the similar service that we are providing to the patients in the Eastern Cape without discriminating from one group to the other. However, it has been given difficult when we tried to procure the services in the same manner that we normally do, call for proposals. We could not accept service providers because people were already aware of what is happening at Gauteng, and they were scared to offer their services, and that was the limitation in this case.
That's very interesting what you say, that people are perhaps reluctant to, step forward and say they can provide the service that you are seeking to procure in terms of frail care in the Eastern Cape. What have you been able to find out in terms of doing due diligence and in terms of some of these non-profit organizations? Because as we know, in Gauteng, you had a situation where, organizations that were not capable of taking care of people with mental illness ended up performing that function. So what have you found? Is there capacity from the non-profit sector in the Eastern Cape?
I think there's a distinct different situation that is pertaining to the Eastern Cape, because we have found out that the patients that are in the centers are severe. They've got, in terms of their frailty is so severe, which is, in terms of our mandate, they fall under the mandate of the Department of Health. Coincidentally, the Life Esidimeni does have another contract with the Department of Health in the same institution that is the Algoa Frail Care Center. They do have a contract. So they provide to the Department of Health for people who are severely frail. We have done an assessment asking the Department of Health to do a medical assessment, and we have indeed received a report from the Department of Health. We have requested the Frail Care Services as a service provider that, as a government of the Eastern Cape, let us enter into a multilateral agreement that is a service being provided to the Department of Health together with the Eastern Cape Department of Social Development, of which the two departments will be solely responsible for their own mandates. The Department of Social Development for older persons and frail people, and then the Department of Health will take over the medication aspect and the extent of the services that are required that are medically related.
All right, I just want to, two more quick questions before I let you go. Just a question on when you talk about frail patients that you're looking after, the 208 that you're talking about, what's the categories, what are the categories that are involved of the patients? Do they include mentally ill people?
Yes, there is a category that in that age group that is from 60 and above. However, you find situations there are also people who are above. Let me say there's a category from 60 to 70. There's a category from 71 to 80. There's a category above 81.
So just as a final question then, what can you tell me about, are you able to make any assurances that, in handling this process, because it sounds like you are in a situation where you feel the current situation is unsustainable financially for you as a department, and it hinders your ability to, give care to those patients. What are you doing to ensure that in the process of handling that transition from the contract you want out of to whatever arrangement you enter into, there won't be any lives lost? What due care are you taking for that?
Indeed, we have learned lessons from the Gauteng situation, and will be ensuring that there are no lives lost while there's a migration of people. Currently, the department has opted to have a state-owned facility that is going to be providing those services. In this first year, we are at a feasibility study exercise, ensuring that one of our centers that is in Port Elizabeth, the Motherwell area, will convert that into a frail care services center. And then we're also looking, because currently in the number of people that are in the two centers, there are people that are from outside the Eastern Cape province, which means the province is subsidizing people from other provinces. We have, in accordance with the medical assessment report, we will not take any chance to remove those people that are frail, but will consider those people who are regarded as having minor frailty or are deemed as independent living. Those who are able to move for themselves without intense services required will consider moving them back to the original provinces where they are coming from. However, we have to do and ensure that the receiving centers, they are able, they are capable, they are registered as NPOs, they are also registered as healthcare services to ensure that we don't put them at a risk.
All right, thank you so much for talking to us. That is Eastern Cape Social Development Head of Department, Ntombi Baart, taking us through what really appears to be quite a complex situation that they are dealing with in as far as a contract for the provision of frail care services in their centers they are concerned, and the department trying to handle that situation. As you heard from Ntombi Baart, she says they've taken lessons from what happened in Gauteng with the termination of the Life Esidimeni contract.